Okay, you all, so let me give you a little rundown of how it is when you first come into a facility. So most places, what they'll do is they'll have you, you know, do your alcohol swab, do your temp, write down your name. Some places will have like a sheet specifically for agency, a sheet specifically for guests, whatever. So you do that first. They ask you all these questions. Have you been exposed, blah, 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 blah. Then some places they have it as far as a protocol, they have to, you have to get actually tested, like if you haven't been tested in a certain amount of time. So that happens, okay, then they tell you where you're going. Now, say that's like your first time being there, and maybe they have computer charting. Like one of the first things you want to do, if they don't give it to you, one of the first things you want to do is see who has the login information, because you could be sitting in the facility for hours without a proper login. And if you don't get it like right when you come in, like a lot of managers and people who actually do that, they dip off. And then you'd be surprised, they'd be like forgetting to do logins and stuff. So figure that out. Like once you figure out where you're at, be like, hey, who do I have to call to get a login? Like make sure you have your login for the computer, and then actually try to use it, log in before it gets too late into the shift. Because it's been times where I'll get my login, I'll do my report, I'll take a little minute to look at my patients, and when I finally try to go on, I cannot get in there and there's like nobody to be found. So do that first. So you do that. Also, one of the first things you want to like, so that happens. So then when you come on a unit, like I'm gonna tell you all like what it's usually like, and then also tell you like how my day has been so far. So this is my second time coming to this facility. Like I've worked here before, but a minute ago. So anywho, this is my second time actually coming to this facility like in the past year or two. And you come on a unit and basically everybody just looking at you like, who the hell is this? And you usually get like a lot of people like sitting there at the desk because people are trying to leave. So I just come out, I was like, hello everyone. And that'd be that. And then you're like basically trying to figure, okay, who's the nurse, who's evening shift, who was here from day shift, who was going on evening shift, or you know, who's here for evening shift, who's gonna be here for night shift, whatever the case may be, right? So you're trying to figure that out. Hopefully your nurse is right there ready for you to, you know, give you a report and count and everything. But sometimes they're working. Like today, it was an agency nurse that I relieved. And once she finally got to the floor, like actually was able to sit down, like I came at 2:45, like she finally sat down like at 3, like after 3 o'clock. So I was like, hey, I'm your relief. Or were you the nurse on day shift? I'm your relief. Oh, okay. So you try to get a report from them, count, do all that. She had a hectic day because when she came in, there was no nurse here. There was nobody to count with her. They just left the keys and dipped. So it was already like behind for her. So that was it. And she was telling me like such and such is supposed to be get done, but I didn't get a chance to do it because of this and the third. I was like, okay. So I guess the supervisor's gonna have to do it. She was like, oh yeah. I guess she was trying to get me to say like I was gonna do it, but I wasn't gonna do it because I don't know what the hell I gotta do on my shift. Now, if I have time, I'm gonna go ahead and get it done and just chart that I did it. But honestly, like I can't just tell you, oh, I'll do it when I have 40 plus patients. I have 4 G tubes. I got 10 AccuCheck. Like I can't just tell you I'm gonna go ahead and do it. If you weren't able to do it on your shift, then you need to tell somebody like, hey, I wasn't able to get this done. You know, tell somebody above you because I can't. I just can't do it. But I'm not gonna say that I'm not gonna do it. But I told her if I have time, I'll go ahead and do it. Which actually, I think she made it harder than what it had to be as far as the thing. I think they explained it to her and it made it seem like it was gonna be super hard, take forever. But I don't think it's gonna take that long. But anyway, so do the report, ask your questions. Now, if you have issues, I guess I don't think I've ever done a video about getting a report from a nurse. I've never done a video like that. I guess I'll work on that. But anyhow, get your report, keep it pushing. Now, usually after that, it's important, or it's behooving to you to go ahead and do a run, like a round on your patients. But you're the charge nurse. If you're working in long-term care, you're the charge nurse. So, and a lot of times these places don't have 2 nurses working on the floor. I don't know the last time I even worked on the floor with 2 nurses. Like, oh, well, you know what? When I work at that place, they usually have 2 nurses. I'm not gonna lie, which is good because you feel like you got somebody there, you know. But anyhow, so most places, let's change up the lighting a little bit. So most places will have you being the only nurse. So what you have to do then is be like, okay, where my A's at? Like, where's everybody at? Because typically, like, when I came in, there was a lot of people here. But, like, within, like, 15 minutes, everybody was dipped. And there was one CNA from evening shift. So then you have to be like, okay, where is everybody at? What assignments are y'all going to take? Yada, yada, yada. Good thing where I'm at, the CMC is a regular CMC. So she knows the floor. She knows the assignment. So she knew the assignment. She know how to make everything out. I'm like, thank you, girl. You all, if you don't know by now, be friendly to these CMTs. If they're regular staff CMTs, even if they agency and they know the people, be nice to them. You gotta think they're passing meds to everybody pretty much, except for your tube feeders, right? So, and people who just don't get meds, which that's rarely happens. But anyhow, they know everybody, so be nice to them. And usually in facilities that have agency or facilities in general, your most like seasoned employees will be your CMTs, because for some reason, which I know, but for some reason, CMTs last longer than CNAs and nurses combined. Like they last longer in a facility is your CMT. Okay, so that's what happened. She did the assignment. Of course, you got people kind of straggling, coming in late or whatever. So you got to be on top of, do we have all our A's? Is everybody here? Like asking, like, have you seen anybody else come in? Be on top of it, because once again, you don't want it to be, you think everybody here and nobody said anything, and here it is 5 o'clock and you're like, oh my gosh, we're missing 2 CNAs. And then the people who supposed to do staffing and all that, like nobody did anything. So you're like, shoot, like how am I going to get anybody up in here? And then you super short staff. So just be on top of it, because especially we were working evening shift, most people be out of here by 5, 6 o'clock, if not earlier. So be on top of your staffing. So that's how that was. But yeah, what ended up happening with me is, of course, the aide come in and she's like, what floor am I working? And she goes to the CMC and she's like, you know, I can't work with such and such. Why you hit me over there? And the CMC was like, girl, I don't know you. There's plenty of people with this name that come up for her. I don't know you. Because the CMC is regular staff and the agency employee is agency. So she's like, girl, I didn't know that was you. Like, I don't keep tabs on who you're not supposed to take care of. Like, that right there, I never understood that. Like, you can't take care of a patient. That's so weird to me. But I know it happens, and it's not because people are just horrible, but there's always a way to try to turn things around with patients, I believe. But sometimes you can't, you know, but anyway, so she was like, and by the way, those 2 people not even here, like they're in the hospital, so gone somewhere. So the thing is, before everybody came, I said, everyone else that's coming in is agency staff. So if you don't want to be on, because she's like, every time I come on this top hall, I don't want to work this top hall. I said, well, you're here. We still got like 2 or 3 more people coming. So if you want to change your assignment, go ahead and change it, because everybody else is agency, so you can just choose what you want. Nah, I just go ahead and keep it the same. So that's something else you got to deal with. It's just people with their attitudes that just want to complain. Like, you give them solutions and they're pissed. They're mad at you for giving them a damn solution, because they want to sit here and complain the whole fucking time. So you got people like that. So anyways, that happens. Then you want to basically do your rounds, at least check on some folks, just kind of look around a little bit. I got like 40-something patients. That's a lot of rooms to be looking up in, but try your best to kind of be like, okay, yeah, somebody trying to call me. It may not be no bullshit. Okay, there's something else you gotta do. Answer your dang on calls. Hold on. So anyways, so this A, right, I'm doing my acu checks. So that's pretty much like, okay, so you come in, do your thing, make sure your staffing is right, and then you want to start going through the computer to see what you have to do. So you want to look at your acu checks, because typically when you first come in, that's going to be like the first thing you got to do, especially if you work in day shift. Like, because what if you have like 10 plus people that you got to check sugar? It's not always like that, but if you got tube feeders, they're going to have to get meds. So you have to be on top of, especially in your report, hopefully that person will tell you that your tube feeder, that your acu checks. Because sometimes in the computer system, like, it's not easily found. Like, you have to look for this stuff and it'd be a hot mess. You want to see who get pain pills. Sometimes you can't easily find that in the computer. Like, you would have to go through all 40, 50 patients just to see who has pain pills, which can be a pain in the butt. But anyhow, you do that, right? But today I was like, let me just go ahead and get my acu checks out the way. Start doing my acu checks, and then A comes to me and she's like, such and such wants me to lay them down, but if I lay them down, I'm not getting them back up to go smoke because I got too many people to put up and down. I'm like, okay. So I go in the room talking to the patient. The aide is right there, and we're kind of going, all of us is just talking that the aide was like, well, they should have put you down on day shift because I can't keep putting people up and down, up and down, up and down all night, and I got all these other people to take down. And I was like, yeah, you know, ma'am, do you think you can smoke right now? Because she was like, she wanted to get back up to smoke. I was like, can you smoke right now? Maybe. Or I was just trying to just come up with stuff. Because honestly, in my opinion, put the lady down, change her, get it back up. You got to put it back down. You got to put it back down. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. That's a job. Shit, like, I don't know what else to tell you. Because she was saying that nobody had put her down on day shift to change her. So she had already been wet from day shift. And she's saying that she's not going to go to sleep till 8:30. Here it is, 4 o'clock. So you telling me she should be wet from sometime on day shift when she got wet all the way to 8:30 at night? Or it might not even be 8:30. You probably ain't going to put her down until after that. So that don't make no sense that she should be wet this whole time, in my opinion. Now, of course, I get it. You don't want to keep putting people up and down. I get it. Trust me, I totally understand. So I said, well, the best I can do is, you know, I can help you get her in bed and get her back up and down. Like, I'll spot you because she's a Hoyer. And she's just like, okay, like, it's just too much. It's just too much. They always want to put this on us. Da, 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 da. Okay, I get that, you know. So the patient is upset and pissed because they're like, I smoke at night and I want to get clean right now and get back up and go smoke and come back down. Like, I can't, you know. She's like, it's not like you lifting me up. Yeah, I using the machine. And I get what she's saying. So anyhow, we leave out the room. I'm talking to the A. I say, yeah, I know it's crazy, but I mean, this is our job, like, to put them up and down and do what we got to do because they can't do it for themselves. Like, that's what we're supposed to do. Like, it's messed up, but this is the job. Like, what else can we do? And she kind of gave me the side eye, like, and I'm like, yeah. So then she goes to another aide, and I guess she asked the aide to spot her with the lady to put her up and down. But I was like, I will do it with you. Like, all your Hoyers, like, I will help you with them. Like, I have no issue, like, taking 5 seconds. This whole conversation that we just had with the patient, we could have got them in the bed and got them back up. We could have did it. But you're pissed about the fact that you got all these people when you first came in, I brought it up that you can change your assignment. And then 2 of the people that you say you can't work with, that you don't want to deal with, they're not even on this assignment. So you just want to fucking complain. Like, that be the thing, y'all. Especially with nursing homes, is that not only are you the nurse, because here you are with your 10, 12 patients as a CNA. Yeah, it might be a pain in the butt, because trust me, 10, 12 patients as a CNA can be a pain in the butt depending on the patients. Yes, they might be Hoyers, yada, yada, yada. It's rough. I get it. But here I am as a nurse with 50-something patients. And on top of that, I got to supervise you with your 12 patients, and you don't want to do your job. Now, I'm not saying, oh, woe is me because I'm the nurse and I got all these people. Like, my job is harder than yours. Like, you shouldn't be complaining. No. I'm not saying it because I signed up for this job. But guess what? You signed up for your job too. So if you have an issue, I don't really know what to tell you. This is your job. Because that's how it is with me too. I signed up for this. Now, I might not like it. I might complain. I'm going to do what I got to do though. I'm going to do what I got to do because this is my job. And that's like one of the things that I just don't be getting it. Because this is what we signed up to do. This is what we're getting paid to do. Like, it's basic stuff, but it's just like, this is the job. So I don't really know how else to say it except for keep saying this is the job. So do your freaking job. Like, I don't know. My thing is, if you had an issue, she's like, I'm going to report the fact that they didn't put her back down. I get that. Report that. Be upset about it. But at the end of the day, she's wet. And I cannot sit here and let this lady be wet for the next 6-7 hours. Just because you don't want to spend 12 minutes to get them back up and down. Like, do that make sense? And then you just want to be upset. Because here I am telling you I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you. What else is it? You could have changed the assignment. You chose not to. So these are some things like you have to deal with with being a nurse in general, especially in long-term care. You got to deal with this anyways. And then if you are a charge nurse in a hospital, you got to deal with nurses who don't want to do their job. So that's a whole nother thing. Like, girl, bruh, like, really? But that's that. I'm about to go finish doing my, I think I got 4 people that require tube feeding. So I'm about to get that started. It's also dinner. Like, they're just now serving dinner. So I need to check on everybody, make sure everybody eating, and ain't no issues with that. But yeah, that's how it's been so far. And it's 5:20. I got here at 2:45. So we'll see how the rest of the shift go. But basically, once you kind of get through the beginning part of your shift, just making sure you're cool, you know where everybody is, you got all your people. It's pretty much just taking out little fires here and there, doing your assessments. Try your best, y'all. Try your best when you come in just to get as much work done as possible. Like, I don't care if it's something super small. Like, oh, I gotta do a little treatment on somebody. Do the treatment. Get it done. If they in bed, do it. Like, if you don't have to get them in bed before you do the treatment, slap that treatment on their foot. Like, do it, because those little things add up at the end of your shift. And if somebody falls, somebody dies, somebody has to get sent to the hospital, somebody comes in as an admission, like, that's just added stuff. And it just becomes overwhelming, especially with your charting. So I think I got one person that's on a follow-up. I'm gonna go ahead and chart on them. I'm gonna go through the computer again and see what all I have to do tonight and kind of write it out like a little cheat sheet. Because with me, I have to do that. If I have 50-some patients, 40-some patients, I have to go through everybody and see, okay, this person has this person has this, so I can kind of prioritize what I'm gonna do. Especially because sometimes some places will have it, which is so annoying. They'll have the charting be from like 3 o'clock till 6:45. There's a set of stuff that's due. So you think you're done, you're good, you did everything you want to do. You sit down, you start charting. Then next thing you know, the whole floor pops up green again. And they have orders from 7 to 11 that's due. And you're like, what the? Like, I could have did this while I was in that room. Like, this is horrible. So yeah, I'm gonna go through and look at everything to make sure I got everything together. So that's that. It's rough. It's rough, especially, you know, everybody on the floor is agency pretty much, and I'm agency. But the CMT is regular staff. I got one regular staff CNA, and that's just how it be. And you gotta deal with people with their attitude, and it's just like, I feel like when you're dealing with people with their attitude, just always bring it back to the fact that this is our job. This is what we're here to do. Like, I can help you, I can assist you, but I mean, do you think that it's okay that she stays wet for the next 9 hours? Do you think it's okay? Well, not 9. Do you think it's okay for her to stay wet for the next 5 or 6 hours? No, but they should have did. Yeah, I understand they should have did it. That's crazy. But did you do rounds with anybody? Well, I didn't come in until, oh, okay. So you were late. Okay. I don't know what to tell you. Ooh. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Bye. What's up, fam? So I got IV to do real quick. This should be like one of my last things I have to do before I can sit down and chart. But I've been doing a lot of charting as I go. So it shouldn't be too bad. So really, once I went ahead and did everything before dinner, like usually like around dinner, it's not too bad because you do all your echo checks and everything, your pain pills and all that. And then like a little bit after dinner, it's pretty chill. So I did take a little break. And then I was like, oh, I could wait. I was like, no, let me just go ahead and get everything done. And like, I swear I've been working ever since I said that. And that was like at 7 o'clock and it's 9 o'clock. So actually before 7 o'clock, I was like, let me just start working so I can get everything done. Cause I had started, yeah. So like I said, I have 4 people who are on tube feedings. The thing is that only one person is continuous. One person. So that means the other 3 people are bolus. So like every 4 hours, I have to go in their room and give them tube feeding. Versus with a continuous, all you gotta do is just make sure it's still going and it's flowing. Like you don't have to keep going in their room checking it unless you're gonna do a flush. But so yeah. But sometimes they have it where you can have a tube feeding and a flush going, and you can program it into the thing. You can program it so you don't have to keep going in there. So there's that. But I'm about to go do this IV and then do some charting and then probably hopefully be able to chill. It hasn't been too crazy, but I've been working. But that's what I'm here to do. It's like once you just realize that you're here to work, you just get it done. But if you sit down for too long, baby, you is not gonna feel like getting up. My bad, y'all. And I had quite a few pain pills to give, so I was doing that. So I ain't really had a chance. But really, that's like the day in the life. Like nothing else too crazy has happened. Hopefully, you know, you have CNAs who communicate to you if something is going on with a patient, something changes, or somebody needs something, they communicate that to you. Depending on how your facility is ran, if you have to give like PRN medications, then you might be doing a lot of back and forth. You might be doing like a lot of back and forth, like going from, because like here, some places they keep all their narcotics on your cart. But here you have to come all the way back to the med room to get narcotics. So that's kind of a pain in the butt. I have to do that because say you're all the way down the hall and the patient's like, hey, I need a pain pill, and you're in their room. You have to leave out their room, come all the way back down to the med room, then go all the way back to their room. By the time you get back down there, somebody else may ask for something else. You got to keep going back and forth. So that can be a pain, but it's his what it's his. I'm gonna go on and go do these freaking do this IV. I'm gonna chart on the IV and all that, check her vitals. And then I'm about to chill out. What is this? Girl, somebody got some freaking... Are you serious? It's some labs sitting here. And it looks like no one did anything with these labs. So I gotta call this shit in. This be that BS. Why did I look over here? I'm over here seeing some labs like somebody got some critically high electrolytes that I will have to call in on. Let me see if anybody did anything about this. This is, and here it is, 9 o'clock and you know what? My job. So let me go do this. All right, y'all.